Hello everyone, this is L Spectra. Welcome back to the Land of Empires. And today I'm going to share 10 additional facts or tips that I or others have learned while playing the Land of Empires. So diving straight into fact number one, and that is to never use Bloodshade, Moonbane, or Nightsaber in either a rally defense or a rally offense. And the reason for that is their lack of damage. So if we could take a look at a few reports I saved recently, maybe if we could find a defining example comparing these Season 1 and 2 Titanos against Season 3. Actually, here's a good example. So we can see compared to these Season 5 Windstriders, Moonbane and Nightsaber just deal very pitiful damage. So they contribute very little damage, meaning that their only contribution is the stats. And of course, they don't contribute much stats unless resonated. But even if they are resonated, you have to account for the difference in damage and whether that is sufficient to make up for the gap in stats. So for example, if someone is bringing a fully resonated Nightsaber and another person is bringing like a level 120 Odin, that fully resonated Nightsaber may not even contribute much to your overall fighting power compared to the level 120 Odin, because although he may be contributing more stats to you, the damage will simply be incomparable between Odin and Nightsaber. Maybe that is not so much. That is not true so much for Season 3, but for Season 5 onwards, definitely Titanos coming after Nightsaber deal just so much more damage than Titanos coming before Nightsaber, and Nightsaber included. And yeah, the Titanos damage can sometimes have a big impact on the battle itself. Yeah, for example, here we can see that the Titanos contributed over 25% of the kills in this outcome. So definitely focus more on bringing Titanos coming in after Nightsaber, because they not only contribute stats, but also damage. Fact number two is with respect to metal sets and the stats that they provide. We can see the difference between my 3 set piece, which is at the last tier, at tier red 0.2, and the 6 set piece at tier blue 0.4. And we can see kind of the contrast between these two stat bonuses. And the stat bonuses, and this is something that I didn't realize till recently, is that they do not grow like this until the red tier. So the red tier starts at 30% for tier 1, 40% tier 2, 50% tier 3, 60% tier 4, and going all the way to 75% for tier 5. And this represents a significant boost in stats with these tier upgrades compared to the stat bonuses from the upgrade itself. So for example, when you upgrade a metal from tier red 0.4 to tier red 0.5, you are getting a 20% extra attack and defense boost. But along with that, if you are maxing the 3 set, you are getting an additional 15% stats for defense across infantry, cavalry, and archer. So you are essentially getting 45% extra stats on top of the 40% you just gained with the upgrade itself. So do not underestimate the stats you get from the metal sets, but that only begins starting from the red tier. Before that, you can see that the stat growth only goes up about 1.5% with each tier. And what this means is that you should only be upgrading 3 metals to max before really starting to focus on the rest. Because yeah, it is very hard to max all 6 metals. Therefore, it is very beneficial to you to benefit off this 75% all defense stat across your 3 unit types before starting to work on the other 3 of your metals. Tip number 3 comes from the slumber rewards. And this is something I realized recently as well. And that is you can become eligible for slumber reward distribution the moment your march enters the capturing slumber. So before, what I thought was that you had to, wait until the slumber was captured and it will count if your army was there the moment the slumber becomes captured. But in actuality, the moment your army enters the slumber, you can remove that army immediately and you'll still be eligible for the slumber rewards. And that has a big impact when it comes to ongoing clashes, because whenever you're clashing in the context of, for example, Battle of Disorder or Battle of Destiny, you do not have the luxury to just step out of battle, especially not for an entire hour sometimes it takes to capture slumber. So yeah, to have your army in the slumber and retreat your army immediately is pretty important when it comes to joining back the battlefield. And yeah, this is something I realized recently. So afterwards, I will be retreating my army from the slumbers, which means that if the slumber marches 5 minutes, for example, you can join at the last second almost, have the march enter the slumber after about 2 minutes, retreat them right away, and you'll be back into the battlefield within about 5 minutes total. So you won't have to like spend 30 minutes doing slumber, and then your Tau will be captured, and who knows where you'll fly to. Tip number 4 is about healing speeds. Some people may wonder how certain alliances can hoard so many hours of healing speedups. And the secret of that is actually the dice event, or also called the Eternal Tower. And when people talk about buying healing, the most prominent healing pack, which is probably not here right now, is the 650 hour per $100 healing pack. Of course, we're not going to talk about the resources that is also required to heal the troops. We'll talk about that a bit later. But simply in terms of healing hours, it is very expensive to clear your hospital. 650 hours will only be enough to clear your hospital probably up to 2 times. So 345,000. So this is a max Glorious 10 hospital. And it will take me about 320 hours to clear this. So $100 can only help me clear this twice. So how are alliances getting so many healing speedups? And that is within the dice tower itself, and not necessarily from farm accounts. The efficiency of buying dice for healing is actually very high. So on the tower event is unfortunately not running right now, but I'm sure everyone knows what floor 21 looks like. At the end of floor 21, you get a tile that gives you up to 6 healing packs if you buy the $2 double rewards. You should always buy the $2 double rewards. I don't know what you're doing if you're not. But yeah, assuming you buy the $2 double rewards, you'll be able to get 6 healing packs containing 50 hours of healing each, from which 10 people can claim. So you drop the healing packs, you can claim up to 50 a day. And where does the efficiency come down to? So I actually calculated that in a simulation. So if you were to run, so for example, here I am simulating 200,000 dice rolls to get the average. And we can see that the average is about 1.83 that of the buying the 650 hour healing speed up pack with $100. Compared to what you would gain by yourself, it is about 1.83 times the efficiency of that pack for the $2 dice packs. It is about 1.47 times the efficiency for the $5 dice packs. And even going up to the $50 dice packs, which is dropping in efficiency at the higher dice packs, you are still kind of above water. You can still get back more healing for yourself. Compared to buying the 650 healing hour pack straight up. But really the power comes from being able to share with others. So this is just accounting for the expected heals you can get for yourself by sharing the packs. This is not accounting for the efficiency from you sharing with others and from others sharing with you as well. So if we were to consider the true efficiency of buying healing through the dice packs, we are essentially able to multiply this by 10, because up to 10 people can collect the healing packs. Of course, you also get clamps and bellows from the dice events, but honestly, they do not contribute much to the overall efficiency, maybe 1/10 of it. So essentially, you are getting over 10 times the efficiency as buying the 650 healing hours per $100 straight up. Yeah, and that is how people are getting so many healings. A lot of their people are buying dice. They spam that floor 21, get a lot of healing packs, and just plan their drops. And every day you have someone dropping 50 packs. People can claim the packs, and they get a lot of healing that way. You can see these are the ones I claimed, and some of them I didn't claim because we have too many healing packs to drop. So the next fact is that, comboed with the healing packs, actually I should stay on this page. If you claim these packs early, you actually get more healing on average than if you were one of the last few people who are claiming these packs. Because I don't know how they program the distribution, but you can actually get up to 12 healing hours when claiming any of these packs. So the highest number is 12. I don't know how they fine-tune that, but if you are one of the first few people who claim the packs, the average number of healing you get is about 6. So the expected number you can get is about 5, because of course there's 50 and 10 people are claiming it. But data has shown that if you are one of the first few claimers, you get around 6. And if you are one of the last few claimers, you get around 3. So yeah, be fast. You'll get more healing that way. Fact number 6, I think. I always get lost on which fact we're on. But fact number 6 is that in the Battle of Disorder, when you're fighting Hell Watchers, it is very easy to just do them all at the same time. Like do 7 at the same time or do 99 at the same time, however many your energy allows. But actually, you can get slightly more rewards by doing them one by one. So if you do them, if you click whatever button is in the Battle of Disorder and go all the way down to 1, you will get the rewards for 7 Hell Watchers per 1 Hell Watcher. So you can get the rewards for 7, and then the second time you do it, you get the rewards for 6. The third time you do it, you get the rewards for 5, etc. So you can get the rewards for about approximately 30 Hell Watchers, probably less, by doing them one by one. It's just a decent minor boost. I guess a better part is that your alliance will be getting the Hell Watcher loot from those bonus Hell Watchers. So that's overall pretty nice. Fact number 7 comes to the Hall of Valor. And I actually have a video dedicated to talking about the Hall of Valor and how it works. But basically, there's no point in saving loyalty when it comes to loyalty growth. So your loyalty growth is calculated based on the capacity ratio that accounts for the current loyalty. So it accounts for how much loyalty you have saved, meaning that if the loyalty is near full, your loyalty growth will be at its lowest because it will treat as if your Hall of Valor was near empty. The only reason why you would ever save loyalty, in my personal opinion, is say you have fairly low infantry counts and you are about to go into another battle. So you find yourself with a lot of cavalry and a lot of archer in the Hall of Valor. So what you can do is you can let the loyalty grow to max, before the battle happens. And whenever your infantry gets sent to the Hall of Valor, you can immediately recruit those infantry instead of waiting for the Valor to regen. So that is, in my opinion, the only reason why you would save loyalty, unless you just like to have it stack up, which I guess is fine too. And fact number 8 comes down to the resources. I know a lot of people are having trouble farming resources or enough resources to sustain their troop training and troop healing right now. But I hope this fact can help you a little bit in terms of hoarding just a little more resources. And that comes down to the Battle of Disorder. The tiles, they give you not only leaves, but also resources. And by hoarding only wood or food tiles, yes, food is important too, as many people may not realize. I know everyone is so focused on wood, but if you farm enough wood, I guarantee you will run out of food. But anyways, I digress. So whether it's wood or food tiles, you can get up to about 370 million resources a day if all you have are level 8 through 10 food and wood tiles in the battle disorder. So if you have 100 of those tiles and you bought the $5 special discount pack, it's not here right now, but it's a very important pack, especially for leaves and combat. Everyone should buy that pack if you can afford it. You will gain, as I said earlier, about 370 million wood a day. And that is accounting for having 100 wood or food tiles. Across a majority of the battle disorder, you will not have 100 tiles, but the battle disorder lasts for 14 days. And so across that event, you can easily farm farm over 3 billion food or wood just through idle farming, just having those tiles captured. I think personally it's a very convenient way to farm resources, and in the long run it's a big deal because healing is expensive, training is expensive, and as we get more and more troops, as we lose more and more troops, as these fights become ever longer, I hope they give us even more ways to farm resources, but that is looking to be unlikely. So fact number 9, and that comes down to the relics actually, and this is something I also discovered recently, and that is if we were to go to album, the Archer relics, the Ring of Theogony. Oh my god. Ring of Theogony. But anyways, if you were to look at the stat growth across all the relics, there is a irregularity, and that is between the 1-star and 2-star red tier for the Archer Ring relic. And you can see that the HP growth, it goes from 220 to a whopping 270. That is a 50% growth from just one tier. And that is really unprecedented. You cannot find this kind of growth, this kind of abnormal growth across any other relic tiers. And this might be a programming bug, but we'll happily take it. Just this fact is to note that this tier, you can check all the other tiers. You can check all the other relics. You will not find any abnormalities. We can see that the cavalry HP goes from 160 to 180, 200, 220, 250. This is very normal. I mean, like you get a 30%, like you get 10% extra from the last tier, but the last tier also costs like 100,000 relics. So that is an incredible cost. So you're getting a little extra for the very last tier, but it is not really something that that is efficient cost-wise. Like here, we can see a 20% boost, 15%, 15%, 15%. So there is really no discrepancy until we get here. We can see from the previous tier, we get 15% increments, and then going from yellow tier to red tier, we get we get a 30% increment, which is pretty good. And we can see the other tiers, they're 30%, 30%. So the 30% increment is expected. But here we suddenly get 50%. Yeah, so that is just something interesting to make note of. Whenever you're working on your Archer relics, maybe consider getting this to red and 2 stars before working on the others, because that extra 20% HP stat is quite nice. And finally, the last fact is about Fast and Furious. And in Fast and Furious, the key to getting a good score, maybe not necessarily a top score, is to have all your marches hit. So the maximum number of rounds you can send your marches is 7. And the maximum number of hits you can get is 42. So your last round of marches that you send, all of them should hit if you want a good score. And the way to do that, of course, is just to not use any presets. Like, for example, I'm using a mouse right now, which is absolutely horrid, but you want to use your phone for this, or maybe some kind of macro. But yeah, just send your troops here. Do not use any presets because it's very bad news unless it's literally your very first march. I know some presets can get you marginally higher scores than having no preset. But one thing I kind of pay attention to kind of maximize my score is my Arma setups. And whenever you're not using presets, the hero that the game will choose for you is based on their power. So whichever infantry has the highest power, whichever cavalry has the highest power, or in the case of having 6 marches, whichever top 6 infantry has the highest power. So with that knowledge in mind, that will let you choose what armor you want to assign to these heroes. So for example, I know that in Team 6, my infantry hero will be Heracles instead of either Athena or Caesar, because their power is significantly lower than my Heracles. And therefore, I give my strong armor, which in this case is Michael's armor, to Heracles. To give another example, here I have Season 1 Valkyrie. Compared to Season 2 Lancelot, for some reason Lancelot has higher stats than Cavalry and than Valkyrie. And therefore, I cannot give this Season 6 armor to Cavalry because it's going to assign Lancelot as the cavalry for my 6th march instead of Valkyrie. So by putting your armor on the respective presets, the respective automatic presets, will allow you to optimize your damage. Now, I haven't done like some super min-maxing try hard to see like exactly what combinations of armament will give me the highest score. But essentially, you just want to optimize your armament so that all your heroes that are marching out will use them, as well as your march buffs. So the march buffs, once again, you would want to use either this buff if you want to be fairly conservative, which I like to be. Although I have a lot of these 12% capacity boosts, I like to be conservative with them just in case that there is a future need for them. But otherwise, I typically use the 6% buff. And of course, there is the military mass expedition buff. So always be using that whenever you are doing Fast and Furious, and hopefully that will help improve your overall score. The remaining stuff is about stats. I know gear helps, actually it helps a lot. So equipping all Fable gear on up to three marches, but even going higher than that might be valid if you are hunting for a higher Fast and Furious score. But other than that, these are the 10 facts, 10 additional facts that I would like to share. There probably won't be a third video because these facts are hard to come by and I do not have much else to share about the game unless they release new updates, of course. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video and please look forward to my next video. Take care.